How's it going, Warriors Alike? I'm Myth, the Lalafell with a /shout aggro macro, which is great for when you make a mistake but want to blame the tank anyway, and today I'm answering a question no one asked. So you want to raid in Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail? Cute! Hope you like wiping. A lot. Whether you're a sprout with big dreams or a seasoned raider already jaded by the words limit break, there comes a time in every Warrior Elite's life when they ask themselves the ultimate question: do I PF or do I join a stat? This video will not answer that. Okay, fine, it will, but you're probably not going to like the answer. Now, before I continue, I just want to say that had I made this video a year ago, my opinion would have been very different. Final Fantasy XIV used to be my side piece to Warcraft raiding, and trying to pug your progress in that game is like trying to circumcise yourself with a stapler.
Not a great plan.
So much so, in fact, that for the longest time I tripped Final Fantasy XIV Party Finder the same way, simply because I felt it would be the same sort of gamble as swiping right on someone's group photo on Tinder. Today, we're breaking down the glorious chaos that is Party Finder and the structured trauma bonding that is static raiding to help you figure out which flavour of emotional damage best fits your schedule, your sanity, and your sleep deprivation. Let's go! Now let's be real, both Party Finder and Statics have their own pros and cons. Neither one is perfect, and both can turn your raid night into either a triumph or a therapy session. Some of their problems even overlap, just in different flavours. PF might give you random chaos, but Statics can give you scheduled chaos. You're not choosing between good and bad here, you're choosing between what kind of mess you want to deal with. I felt I needed to say this to address my critics, who have no doubt got their disagreement templates lined up and ready to go, the lovable beans. It's fine though, it's like I always say, critics are like assholes. Everyone's ate one at some point. Wait, why do I say that? Regardless, the feedback is valid, especially all the complaints about my videos barely having any continuity. And to that I say, alright, let's talk PF. Party Finder has one major thing going for it: freedom. No schedules, no obligations, no awkward, hey guys, I might be late because my cat exploded messages. You log in, you jump in, and if it's not working, you leave. No drama, no guilt, just hit that leave button and disappear like the names on Epstein's list. It's perfect if your schedule is a mess, or if you're just not ready to commit to the social contract of 8 other people relying on you every week. You raid when you want, for as long as you want, with whoever shows up, and the best part, it's all personal progress. You're never locked out of content. If you miss your clear that week, it's not because someone else let you down, it's because you didn't make it happen. It's your time, your responsibility, and weirdly, that can be kind of empowering. But this freedom comes at a cost. Clearly, PF is a dice roll every time. You might get a god tier group that clears in 3 polls, or you might spend 90 minutes watching someone stand in every AoE like it's a trust fall, leaving you like, oh my god, just be normal! There's very little quality control, and the revolving door of party members means every pull is basically a new raid experience. And then there's the gatekeeping. Yes, it's real, but it hits everyone differently depending on how you present yourself. For me, I keep my FFLogs private because passes don't tell the full story. It's a flawed snapshot of skill without context. Then there's Tombstone GG, which tracks your progression, and that can also be misleading. When you PF a lot, your Tombstone progression can cause people to either massively overestimate your experience or completely underestimate your worth. So hiding both means you fly under the radar, but it also means people don't always know what to make of you. You're either the mystery raid god or the unknown liability. It's like Schrodinger's Raider. Simultaneously too good and not good enough depending on the group leader's mood. PF can be brutal if you're not already experienced or visible in the right way. There are clear for 1 parties that quickly turn into clear for 7 white marathons, duty complete restrictions popping up a week after the raid release, and those dreaded word salad descriptions filled with Hector, strat, melee bait, left tank, swap, second tower, ignore P4B spread unless Moonface Tuesday, raid plan, pepperoni, no brain dead. No, I didn't just have a stroke. Thanks for asking. Hugs. It's basically the MMO equivalent of a job listing, demanding 5 years experience for an entry-level position, and you're just trying to learn how to not stand in fire. Still, for many, the flexibility and solo progress are worth it. You raid on your own terms, at your pace, and honestly, I've grown to love it, especially helping people get clears. I love bumping into you guys. Being recognised is definitely an ego boost, but I don't care. It honestly makes my day. Like when you hit like and subscribe before we take a moment to talk about something way more real and important.
June is PTSD Awareness Month, and it's a time for us to recognise and support those who are living with post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD can affect anyone who has experienced a traumatic event, whether it's combat, a natural disaster, an accident, or any other life-altering experience. It's more common than many realise, and it's something that can touch anyone's life, including our friends and loved ones. Raising awareness is the first step towards breaking the stigma and helping those affected find the support they need. And to the silent sufferers, I'm speaking both as a combat veteran with the disorder and as a friend to many in my battalion who lost their battle to it. You are not alone, so please don't try to deal with this on your own. Seek help, share the weight. You're strong, but you're not invincible.
Statics are the complete opposite of PF in every way: structure, consistency, teamwork, and also commitment, pressure, and the occasional passive-aggressive Discord message because someone didn't bring enough pots of food.
Stop it.
Get some help.
When you're in a static, you're signing a social contract. You're agreeing to show up on time every week, even if your soul is already half crushed from the workday. You become a part of a unit, and that means if you mess up, everyone feels it. If someone else messes up, you're legally required to say it's okay while mentally reviewing their entire gameplay history since ARR. One of the biggest perks of static life is clear and consistent communication. You've got Discord callouts, shared diagrams, sometimes even a designated raid dad on mum who keeps everyone on track. You're not wasting time figuring out what strat to use every pull. You already agreed on it in a document with color-coded markers and emotionally exhausted footnotes. When everyone's on the same page, progression can feel like my dating life. Tight, efficient, almost surgical. Nah, I'm joking. I am almost chronically single. But that clarity cuts both ways. When there's a problem, say someone's not meeting a DPS check, it's not just their wall. It becomes everyone's wall. That one person underperforming means 7 people are now bashing their heads against a boss that should have been dead 20 pulls ago. And unlike PF, where you can just quietly vanish into the ether, in a static, you have to actually talk about it, like adults. Or worse, like gamers trying to be adults. Sometimes people improve, sometimes they don't, and if the group isn't comfortable giving honest feedback or the raid culture is too polite to call things out, that boss becomes a permanent part of your calendar. Progression barriers hit harder to a static because the group is only as strong as its weakest link, and depending on your group's rules, benching or replacing someone isn't always on the table. You might just be stuck, week after week, hoping this is the pull where the stars align and Jerry crits. And then there's the time issue. See, with PF, if you miss a clear that week, that's on you, but in a static, if the group doesn't get the clear, nobody does. If your raid nights are limited, say you only run 2 or 3 sessions a week, you're suddenly staring down the reset timer with no kill, no loot and no backup plan. You can't just hop into PF without potentially burning your spot or loot eligibility, depending on your statics rules of course. But let's talk about the part that really separates statics from PF. The drama. See, in Party Finder, if someone's been a problem, you kick them or you leave. No one's feelings get hurt because no one knew each other to begin with. You vanish like a ninja with social anxiety. Problem solved. In a static, you're stuck in a group chat with these people. You might be actual friends. You might be mutuals. Hell, you might be in a free company together or share a Discord where you post memes every day. That means when someone underperforms or causes tension, it's personal now. Suddenly you're not just dealing with raid mechanics, you're trying to figure out how to say, hey man, your uptime is rough, without it turning into, I hate you and everything you stand for. And even if you manage to phrase it perfectly, there's no guarantee the other person won't take it personally, because we're all human. And criticism stings more when it comes from people you trust. Over time, lack of progress starts wearing on those bonds. It doesn't matter how close you were at the start, 5 weeks of wiping to the same mechanic will test even the strongest friendships. People get frustrated, tensions rise, the group chat gets quieter, maybe someone starts making passive aggressive comments about carrying the group, maybe someone else just stops showing up, and suddenly you're not raiding anymore. You're watching the slow decay of a group that once felt solid. Sometimes it's not even about skill, it could be scheduling tension, one person constantly being late or someone who has real life stuff come up every week right before raid. And because you like these people, or at least don't want to cause a scene, you put up with it longer than you should. You hesitate to speak up, you don't want to be that guy who ruins the vibe. But silence doesn't fix anything, it just lets the resentment build. And when things finally do fall apart, it's rarely clean. Someone rage quits, someone else plays peacemaker, maybe 2 people splinter off to form a new group and now you're all side-eyeing each other and limbs are like X's at the same bar. The reality is, static raiding isn't just about killing bosses, it's about navigating the social dance of 8 people trying to stay functional and friendly under pressure. And that's hard. That's really hard. Especially in an MMO where most of us started raiding with friends just to have fun, not to end up in a part-time HR department. But if you can survive the wipes, the scheduling headaches, the awkward conversations, and yes, even the drama, the reward isn't just loot, it's that deep earned camaraderie that comes from fighting the same battles week after week until you win, and then you get to do it all over again next year. Because we're masochists. So my dear beans, if your question is PF or static, my answer is Fenrir. That's yes and Fenrir.